Hello, everybody. Hope everybody is doing good this evening. Hope everyone is doing well. I only see one person in the chat. Okay, but I think everybody is going to start coming in. They usually do. Hey, Jackie, how are you? Hope everything is doing well. And I hope you can see and hear me okay. I am on the laptop. Let me make sure I post and see. Can you see and hear me? If not, hey, loud and clear. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, good. Now that we got that over with, because last week we had a little bit of technical difficulties and stuff. I am back and I am smiling. The biggest challenge of my embroidery career, as you guys know, was the dog design. Okay. And I want to talk to you guys about this. And I am hoping that my hero, the one that helped me with this, gets in the chat because, oh my God, his name is Billy. And I don't know if you guys saw, I had posted on Facebook all the times that I had stitched out this design. And for the life of me, it just wasn't coming out. Okay. I've been working with this for months. Okay. The customer, it's her dog, right? She has a show dog. And she's also an artist and she drew the design. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous photo. And she wanted to have it digitized. So let me tell you from the beginning of the story. Okay, so what happened was she had went to a digitizer, and she tried to get the design digitized by this person, and she got the file from them. Okay, so lesson number one, everyone. Okay, this was my biggest boo-boo, I think, through this whole process. Okay, was, and it's not anything bad that she did or I did or anything like that. It's just that she got a design from a digitizer, right? And then she passed it over to me. And I'm like, okay, cool. So what I did was, all I had was the PES file. I didn't have the DST file. I didn't have anything, right? So the thing is, I was like, okay, I should be able to just take the design, and if I can do a file save, I can end up with a BE file, a working file, and an actual stitch design, right? So I'm over here trying to work with it. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. This thing has been stitched out 8 times. Okay, 8 times. I have been working on this for months. All right. I had to take breaks because it was like that, when something really gets to you and it's kind of really, really super challenging. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I want to quit. You get all pissed off, right? So it really did. This one really, really tried my patience. However, you guys know that I tell you guys that if you really want to be in this business and you really want to do it, one of the things that you really can't do is you can't give up. Okay. You can have your moment. You can have your moment where you're pissed off and you're like, oh my God, this isn't working, whatever, right? And sometimes you have to step back and you just got to give yourself that space. But I will tell you, this was the biggest challenge. Okay, so I got the design. I went to some of the digitizers that I normally use, and I asked them, hey, can you modify this? Because I needed the front mouth of the dog was the big thing. Okay. And what ended up happening was every time the digitizers tried to make modifications to the design, it just wasn't working. Okay. So I want to show you guys what I was working with and how I actually got to the final product and how gorgeous it is. And I got to give a big shout out to, I think his name is Bill Herrick, and it's DCF Embroidery is his company. Okay. And, Billy, if you are on the chat or online and stuff, please put your information in the chat of this video so that other people that need digitizing work can also have you as a possible digitizer for their work as well. Because I'm telling you, I recommend him because He knocked it off the park, and I loved it because I was able to work with him. And that's what I talk about when I tell you guys, when you're going for a digitizer, sometimes you see the websites and the websites are great. It's like you just send them the picture and they'll go and they'll digitize and stuff, but then it's like the relationship kind of like cuts off. One of the things that I liked about working with Billy, it was really similar like when I work with Fossil, right? It's that the communication is always constant, right? So it's like he does the design, you stitch it out. If it looks good, it makes modifications. I was able to work with him, and I really love that when you get to work with a digitizer where you can actually like go back to. I don't like working with someone that it's like, I give them the design, they digitize it, I pay for it. Then when I go to stitch it out, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this has some mistakes. And then, or, it's something needs to be tweaked a little bit. And then I go back and then all of a sudden you don't hear from them again. Then you're like, what the heck? You know what I mean? It's like you're back at square one, because the thing is, your work depends heavily on the digitizer's ability to really produce a good stitch out. Okay. Now, not only was he able to knock this design out of the park, but I noticed that when he digitized it, he also minimized the time that it took to digitize, I mean, to stitch it out. Because the original file that I was working with, it took about a whole hour almost to stitch out the design. His is 30 minutes. So I was just like, wow. I mean, that's that he really cut the time short. And I think it's because he really did a really good job in, really laying out how the stitches should really go. I'm telling you. Okay. So let's go down to all these stitches. Okay. All these samples. And let's talk about the issues that I had with them. Okay. Now, this is the first one. Okay, this is the first one that got stitched out of the machine. All right, now this is supposed to be a logo for the shirt. The rule of thumb is usually it's supposed to be about maybe the longest you want to go is maybe 3.5 inches on the top and the bottom. This was 4 inches across, 3 inches top and bottom. Okay, now, 4 inches across is pretty big, okay? As you can see, I'm kind of like having it like right here. And as you can see, it's really, really large. So to me, it's really too big to be a logo. But the thing is, there was so much details in here that I wasn't sure if I could make it smaller or not, right? But the thing is, I didn't really focus on the size at the time, because one of the things that I did focus on is this is what I'm going to show you that was really the big problem. Look at the front of the dog and look at the mouth area. Okay. As you can see, there is like, it looks like stitch, right? It doesn't look like a solid black. And it didn't look like the photo. Now, I want to show you guys the photo so you guys can see exactly what I am talking about, of how, what it was that we had to work with. Okay. So I want to try to bring it up and show you guys so that you guys can see. Let's start it. Okay. Let's test stitch, because I did send the photo. Oh, I just saw it and then it just, okay, let me go. I want to show you guys the photo because, the actual artwork. Okay. All right. Okay, guys. I don't know if you guys can see it. This is the artwork, okay, that I had to work with. I want you guys to really look at the front of the dog's mouth, okay? Now, I'm going to go get a pointer because there are certain things in this design that's very, very, very important. Now, first of all, just want to emphasize something, okay? This is a logo for a dog that is a champion dog. Okay, this is not an ordinary dog. Okay, this is a dog that is very competitive, has won a lot of awards, and is like, I think he won the title of best in the world in his class. Okay, so this is a top notch. So the design, which this is a picture of him that she drew, has to be very particular because this is a dog that competes and everything like that. So The thing is, cosmetically and all that kind of stuff, the dogs have to be very, very perfect. There can't be any imperfections. So that's why the head of the dog in this logo was very, very, very important. Now, one of the things that I want to do is I'm going to hold this in there is I want you to see the dog face. And I want you to actually look at the bottom of the dog, okay? Like right here. See the beard, okay? There has to be a space in there, okay? I also want you to take a look at the dog's mouth. Okay, look at how long it is in the picture. And then also look at that little lip that's right there. Okay, you see that? Okay, so it's very, very, very important that certain details of this design stitches out well. Okay, because it's a show dog, right? So it's very, very important, especially to the client, right? And I got that, totally understand it. So now, knowing what you saw here, I want you to look at this stitch out and then look at the head of the dog. Look at right here. You don't see the little circle of the beard, okay? Right here, there's one, but it's so tiny you could barely make it out. You don't see the little lip in the front. And you also, this does not look solid. Okay. And as you can see, like right here, this little black, it's off. It's off. Okay. So this wasn't going to work. Okay. So this was the file that I got. All right. So I said, this is not going to work. It's So I said, okay. So had it modified a little bit. And then this is stitch out number 2. Now I want you to look at the front of the dog as well. Now, I will tell you this. You're going to see a little bit of marker in here because I'm going to tell you this is when I started to get a little frustrated, like, ew, I can't get this thing, right? So I was like, man, should I use a Sharpie? You don't want to do that. You really don't, because it's ink. And if it washes and stuff like that, you don't want the customer to come out and go, oh, change, it bled or whatever. You don't want to do that. You want your stuff to be solid, right? That's important to me. So the beard, if you look at right here, see the hole? It looks a little bit better. That looked a little bit better. But this is something else that I want you guys to know. When it was stitching out, even though right here, this is a little more solid in the stitching, I noticed that when this was in the machine and the needle was hitting the head, it was really like, it looked, you could tell that the needle was struggling to go in. It looked very, very thick. And if you look at it from back here, you could tell extremely dense. Okay? Extremely, extremely dense. It's more dense here than anywhere else in the body. Okay? So I was kind of like, all right, so this isn't working out. So I had to go back. Okay? So here we go now to the 3rd stitch. Okay? This is my 3rd time. And we went like right back to the original. Okay? Got it a little bit better, but as you can see, the front of the mouth is still not solid. Okay? It's not solid all the way. And then you could tell right in the front, okay? It's not, and I'm going to be honest, that's another temptation. Should I just take a Sharpie and put it in the front? I don't want to do that. So, all right. So, okay. So we got stitch 1, we got stitch 2, we got stitch 3. I ain't giving up, okay? I'm frustrated, but I'm not giving up. So here comes stitch number 4. Here we go. All right. So now here we have it a little bit more solid, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet, because if you look at this stitch, you notice that little beard circle right there, not there. Okay. And you got to remember, even though the rest of the body of the dog looked perfect, but this right here, no, it just didn't work. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you that Bob also helped me with this. I sent him the thing and he looked at it. And one of the things he said was, oh, AI digitizing. He's like, maybe it was AI digitizing. I don't know if they did that or not. I don't know. Because, I mean, but I was just like, okay, it's a little frustrating here. I'm kind of losing my mind. All right. So then here we go again. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th time. 5, 6, yeah, 5th time. Much more solid. But look at the front. We're off. See, right here, right at the front. Look at that. And then right here, you know, it still, I'm off. It didn't work. Okay. Then try again. All right. Another modification here. Here we go. All right. So now I'm trying again and stuff. This time I said, you know what? Okay. This is taking too long to stitch out. It's about an hour. Okay. And I have to set up the machine and all that kind of stuff. And then at the same time, I'm working on orders and stuff like that. So it got a little bit too much. I said, you know what? I'm shrinking this baby down. Let's do the 3x3 the way it's supposed to be. But then look at the front. See the mouth? Still off. It looks terrible. It does not look like the picture. It's just not working out. Okay. So I was like, okay. So, oh, then Billy came to the rescue. Okay. And Billy said, like, give me a shot. Let me try it out. Okay. And I felt bad because I was like, he posted and then I deleted his thing because this is the thing. It's just that I know there's a lot of digitizers out there, but the thing is sometimes when you ask for a digitizer or you're looking for a digitizer, what ends up happening is that you get a lot of people that say, you know, they're digitized. You get flooded, right? And I don't want that in our Facebook group. I don't want like a whole bunch of, you know, digitized. So I said, all right, I'm going to give you a shot. This is his first try at it. And I was telling, I was impressed. Okay. First of all, the stitch took less time. Okay. It took less time. So I was like, oh, and I'm thinking, oh, to change the colors, stuff like that and everything. Looked at the body. It looks solid. The only thing I didn't like is here we go again. Had challenge with the mouth. Okay. Okay. So if you look at it, but he's close. He's closer. Okay. He is closer because if you look at the ones previous, right, you see that the mouth is supposed to be longer. It's a little bit longer, okay? And then when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, it looks a little short there. It looks a little too short and everything, right? But I was like, okay, but I did show this to the customer. The customer was like, I could live with that. And I'm like, okay, I can live with it too, but I know the mouth should be longer. And I want this to be perfect for the simple fact that I could see her taking this logo to a whole other level. I can see this. I can see this on, I can see it on jackets. I can see it on chairs. I can see it on hats. I can see it on on polo shirts, towels, scarves, beanies. I mean, you know, maybe I'm thinking too much for her, but anyway, Beth is probably going to be like, oh, you know, but I really wanted to make it perfect. So I went back to Billy and I said, hey, can you do this one more time? Make the mouth just a little bit larger. And then I kind of like showed him. The other thing that I did too was I sent him a video showing him what was wrong with these others. What was it in particular that I was looking at that somehow other people couldn't get, right? I just finished stitching this out literally before I came on live, okay? And knocked it out. Still in the hoop. This is the final product. This is what I was looking for. And I know my customer is going to be very happy. Voila. This is the design. Look at the mouth. Okay. Look at the beard. Very detailed. Okay. The colors are great. I love the layout. A winner. A winner. Okay. Billy, I don't know if you're watching. I don't know if you're in the chat. I don't, but I'm gonna tell you, say, thank you. Thank you. I was very upset that day that I posted it because I don't know if you guys saw. I went on Facebook, I posted and I posted, I laid all of them out, okay? And I was just like, I'm at my wit's ends. I can't do it. And everybody was like, oh, and I don't like giving up. I really don't. I don't like giving up, okay? But I did want to make this a live for tonight. I mean, because I was talking to my sister earlier before I got on live. I even had to tell her, you talk too much. I gotta hang up because I gotta get ready for my live, okay? And I wanted to talk to you guys about this design. And there's a couple of reasons, okay? First of all, this is literally the most challenging design I have ever had, okay? But the thing is, I wanted to share it because there's going to be a lot of you guys that do embroidery, and you're gonna come across uh a job that can be very challenging. Okay, you cannot give up. You cannot give up because I'm gonna tell you something. I learned so much, and you know I'm very, very happy that Billy, that he, came out and said, "Let me help you." And at first I was kind of hesitant. I was like, "No," but then I was like, "Okay, I ain't gonna lose." Um, and it's beautiful. Look at it again. The mouth, perfect. Perfect, guys. The body is perfect. The way that it's stitched out is perfect. I mean, this is it. This is it. And I also want to show you something. Okay, this is not what Billy did. Okay, this was before Billy. All right, because what happened was I before Billy even tried. Okay, because these were his two tries, right? This was the last one, right? And then I was like telling the customer, I don't know what to do because if you really look at it, see how the black stitches doesn't come all the way out to the front, right? So it got to the point where I was kind of like, all right, maybe we're gonna have to get a Sharpie, and maybe we're gonna have to stick over. And she was like, well, all right, well, let's just do it. And I think she was saying that because she was just like, she's holding on to this so long and she keeps trying and trying and trying. She probably just wanted to, but I really wanted to get it. I wanted to get it. So I said, fine. So I took one of her shirts and I went to embroider it. Look at how it embroidered. Okay. This I definitely did not like. Look at the head. Look at the front of the dog. The body looks gorgeous, but look at the head. Look at this. This is terrible. No way. Look at all this. This is not the head of the dog. So I'm like, really? I was like, shoot. So when I did this, that's when I stopped and I said, I'm done because I don't want to ruin her shirts and stuff like that. And that's when Billy stepped in and said, let me give it a shot. Okay. And I'm like, okay, all right. And he saved my butt. He did. He saved my butt. And, he showed me samples of his work. He does a lot of portraits and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, well, if he's really good at what he does and it's all about portraits for him, let me see if he can really do this dog. And what I did was I sent him the artwork. I also sent him a video showing what was really the particular importance of that and the head. And this was his first try, which was still good. It was a lot better than the other stuff that I got. It was just that the mouth was just a little bit short. And when I conveyed that to him and I showed that to him, compare it to the picture, okay? Then next thing you know, he edited the file. He said, try it again. Literally, I just tried this again and it is perfect. Knocked it off the ballpark. this is it. This is it. I know my client's going to be, I'm happy with it. I know she's going to be happy with it. And I could see that I'm going to have to reach out to Billy and see in the future if he can make this bigger for me, because I can see her wanting to probably put this on a kitchen towel or a bathroom set, or a bath set, or patches, hats, tote bags, duffel bags, you know, probably do patches so that she could, put it on her chairs when she goes to the dog shows and stuff like that. I mean, this is it. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. So, I mean, this is all done 40 weight thread. Okay. 7511 needle. There is no 65 9 needle stitched with this. There is no 60 weight thread, so 40 weight thread. Okay. There have been, stuff that, you got to look at the design. And to me, the details, even though this design had a lot of details, they weren't details that really needed to have 60 weight thread in it. Okay. You could do it with a 40 weight. Okay. So beautiful, beautiful work. I'm very, very happy with it. I can't wait now to stitch it on the rest of her clothes. I'm thinking also that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take create a patch out of one of these, and then what I'm most likely going to do is put a patch or something on top of this one. Okay. Cause I could kind of like take out all the stitches from this. I could probably do that and take all the stitches out and then see if I could restitch it on here. Honestly, though, I mean, I am so tired. I don't want to do it. So I think I'm gonna do a patch, and I'll just put it over it and call it the day. I think a patch will probably work, or I'll just get her another shirt. So what, athletic large? I can probably get her another shirt and stuff and replace the sweatshirt for her. Um, you know, it's just, yeah, but I totally happy with it. Okay. These, you're going to come across these moments where you have to, you get a client and they have their artwork, and, they really want to make it a reality. And there's going to be a lot of times when you're going to have to stitch it out. I mean, this is very, very time consuming. Now, a lot of times people will say, well, Jeanette, that took a long, long time. All right. But this is my frame of thought. Okay. Some of you guys may not agree with it, but this is really how I think. Okay. In order for you to really be good at what you do, you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. Okay. Yeah. Is it a pain in the butt to have to restitch and restitch and restitch a design several times? All the amount of thread, your time, your effort, trying to figure out what's wrong, trying to find the right person that can actually help you to get that going. Okay. Yes, it is. It is a pain. However, though, it's a process. It's a process that you have to go through in order for you to be able to succeed. Okay. The thing is, the way I see it is, if you get something like this and then you just say, I can't do it and I give up and I'm done, right? Well, what happened is you're not going to get better, and you just gave up a really good opportunity, the opportunity for you to really learn and for you to really expand. Because if you really think about it, I look at it like this helped me not only to make sure I stay determined, okay, but it also introduced me to another digitizer that I normally would not have reached out to or have known about if I didn't go through this little frustration process. Okay. You know, I think that he knocked it off the park. I mean, I look at this and I'm like, it is just so freaking clear. The beard, look at that. You could tell the spacing of the little beard right there, the little lip right there, the length, perfect, the body, perfect. Very happy. I am very, very, very happy with this design. He did a fantastic, I can't say it enough. You saved me. Billy, you saved me. Oh my God. So I'm definitely going to put his information for his company on our Facebook for sure. He is definitely going to be on the guide section. I'm definitely going to put his information out there. Because he is someone that to me has really proven that he knows what he's doing. The thing that I even noticed about the stitch out is, remember how I was telling you about in the front of the mouth that when it was stitching, this area right here in the front was very thick. Okay. And that's one of the things that Bob noticed when he looked at it. And he did I think he turned on the digitizing map and it shows the little nose like where it's gonna hit. This was like, it looked like a solid thing. There were so many stitches going in to this little area right here that I was like, no wonder that when it was stitching out the body, it seemed okay. But then when it got to this part, it looked like it was just hammered so much that it was just so thick. And even touching it, you can feel it. And then when I go to this one, okay, and I touch the mouth area, okay, it doesn't feel that way. I could tell that this, it's not as dense. This, the front of the mouth feels exactly the way the rest of the body of the mouth of the dog feels. Okay. This is not, I mean, you could tell he did it right. It's like he redesigned the whole thing. This, on the other hand, when you feel the embroidery and then you go to the mouth area, this thing is hard. It's hard because of the amount of stitching that went into this. It's like, it feels like a rock on all of them. This little piece right here, okay? You could tell it's like it's smooth all the way, and then for some reason right here. And I know that that was a problem area. And maybe when people were trying to fix it, the more people were trying to fix it, the more thicker that area got. I'm not sure. I'm not a digitizer. I'm just guessing. But because Billy took the time to actually just digitize the whole thing and then go to the mouth and actually redid the whole mouth, this thing is nice. It stitches smooth. It stitches like in order, in a good order. Okay. And I love it. And then one of the things that I really liked about the way he did this is that it stitches the mouth area first. Okay. Then it goes to the other area. You know what I couldn't stand about this one? The mouth area. It was stitched here first and then it would go to the mouth. So the mouth was the very last stitch. So I would be waiting an hour for this whole thing to stitch just to see if the mouth area was a mess. So just looking at all this, you could only imagine the amount of time that it took for me to be in front of that machine. And then just in the end, when it started to stitch the mouth, just to see that it got misaligned and everything, yeah, that was pretty upsetting. It was like, really? Okay, so what's the message for tonight? I don't care. Don't give up. If you want something and you're determined and you really want to get something right, you're gonna have to keep at it and keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. You will eventually get there. It may not be right away, but you'll eventually get there. And it's like I just love it. I'm very, very happy, very content with how the whole the whole design looks. I think beautiful job. I think it really is. It's a beautiful job. I love it. Um, she did a good job. So I know my customer's going to be really happy. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tomorrow morning, because it's kind of late, I'm going to be stitching out those shirts. And when I stitch them out, I will videotape the shirt. So that way you can see this on the actual shirt. And I will compare it with the shirt that I have here. so and talk a little bit more about this process and stuff like that. Make sure I put Billy's information at the bottom of that video as well, so that way you can see. So to me also, one of the things that I really want to stress to you guys also is your embroidery work is really going to matter, and it's going to be very dependent on the type of digitizer that you use. Okay, make sure that you're not just have one digitizer and that's the digitizer for life. Okay, everyone has their good and their bad days and stuff like that. Okay, so what I truly say is make sure that you have a list and you're willing to work with other digitizers. Make sure you make a list of digitizers that you recommend or that you've used and stuff like that. And you can't give up, because the thing is, the quality of the file that you get, okay, especially when you're doing custom work, okay, which is why a lot of times when you see people do embroidery, sometimes what they like to do is they just say, well, I'll just personalize things, right? Because that's kind of like a safe way, right? It's like, I'll just personalize stuff. I'll just take blanks and buy designs, make those designs and put the person's name on it, and I'm good to go. And the thing is, because you're just buying a file, an embroidery file. But there's a problem with that type of embroidery if you're running a business. The thing is that sometimes what happens is a lot of people don't they look for embroidery, but a lot of times they're looking for custom embroidery because they have a business or something like that, and they want to take some type of artwork and turn it into embroidery. Not everyone is going to want a shirt with their name on it or a bag with a name on it or stuff like that. Some people don't like wearing their names. Some people don't like even wearing their initials. Some do, some don't. I'm not saying there's not a market out there for it. There is. But the thing is that you really have to be willing to, if you're serious about embroidery, you're really going to have to get into the world of the custom work. And you're only going to be successful in doing custom work if you actually learn to do digitizing yourself, which I'm really starting to rethink that. I was kind of like, I don't want to learn it. I find it very hard to do. I just don't, and it could be because I haven't really had the time to focus on it either. It could be that. But, I just not, I'm more of a machinist. I enjoy working on my embroidery machines. Okay. That's what I like doing. So actually, sitting there on a computer and designing all the time, it's not really my thing. But, you know, I do know a little bit, like how to tweak designs a little bit, but I didn't know enough to be able to fix something like this. Okay. I needed a professional to really be able to go in there and fix it for me. Because there is no way that I could have done this on my own. Okay. Um, you know, that is, if it wasn't for Billy, I don't think that I would have yeah, I'm really happy with him. So, you know, he is I got to make sure I give him a big shout out on Facebook too, on that Facebook group, because he really did an awesome work. So, I'm thinking I may have to learn digitizing so that way, there's when I come across something like that, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not really into it. So, but I'm going to probably have to learn. But in the meantime, while I don't know how to digitize, I am going to make sure that Billy is on my list as one of my go-to digitizers for sure, because yeah, I know he'll do good work. I mean, he knocked this out of the park. It was one of my most difficult projects, and he was able to just do it in just not even one edit, because I mean, this was his first one, and like I said, I liked it, the customer liked it, but it's just that when I looked at the mouth, I was like, I I just think this is supposed to be longer. I think the mouth is supposed to be longer, because when I looked at her artwork, and even when I remember seeing her dog, it was like the mouth was longer. So I was just like, all right, let me talk to him and see if he can modify that a little bit. And now that I see it, I'm like, it's perfect. Now this is perfect. This is something that is going to work. And I could see her using this for a lot of things. This is going to be beautiful. So, you know, Billy, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I am let me see. So it actually took 40 minutes just to talk to you guys about this design. But I really wanted to show you the final stitch and also, just and I thought maybe this was really because I was kind of like thinking, what am I going to talk about tonight and stuff. But then I was like, I was talking to my sister Nancy, and I said, you know what, I wanted to do a video talking about this design, but I said, you know what, let me just do the live because the thing is, a lot of times people say, oh, you just get the file digitized real easy. Embroidery is easy. It's not. It's really not. You got to be really, this is for detailed people. You really got to be detailed in your work. And it's not for someone who just like quits, very easy. If you quit very easy, you're not going to make it. You really have to stay determined. I'm not saying, you can't take a break because as you guys know, I was struggling with this. Okay. This is months. Okay. This is months. I think I've been on I think 3 months working on this. Okay. So we're talking months now. Okay. Um, and I didn't do 3 months straight working on this every day. All right. Because I had to take a break. And I ain't gonna lie, it got to the point where I was kind of like, like dreading it. Like, I would have it in my notebook as I got to get this done, but I would make excuses not to do it because I was like, oh, I got to do this again. I got to struggle it. I got to stitch it out. And the stitch out was like almost an hour. And I was like, that's an hour of my time. And what I didn't like was the mouth was the very last piece that was stitching out. And every time that mouth stitched out and I saw how bad it stitched, I was like, really? Okay, great. So I was just like, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Okay. But I got it. It's beautiful. I love it. And tomorrow I will video me putting this on one of their shirts. This is just gorgeous. This is just gorgeous and I love it. And I'm proud. I'm proud of Billy. I'm proud of myself. Um and I'm like, yes, this is what success is about. This is what it's about. This is the good feeling, even though I wasn't feeling that good in the beginning, okay? Because I was just like, oh, and I was cursing and the beep, 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 oh my God. And I was like, oh, I'm running out of thread and stuff like that. But now I'm like, this is solid. This is solid. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm very content. Um, this is working out really, really good. And yeah, I'm happy with it. So it's gonna come out really, really nice. So I'm content. I'm gonna go down the chat just in case any of you guys have questions and stuff like that. But I do want to say, before I even hit the chat, I really want to thank. I want to thank Fazil. I want to thank, for trying. He did his best. I really want to thank Bob for taking the time to like just really look at the file for me and give me some feedback and stuff. I really, really, really appreciate it. And especially Billy. Thank you for being so persistent and reaching out to me and, you know, providing, me an opportunity to work with you because you did good. You did good. I'm happy. I know my customer's going to be happy. And oh my God. And boy, I'm going to have more work for you. So, so we're going to be talking for a long time. So anyway, guys. All right. So I'm going to go down the chat. I want to say hi to you guys and everything. So hope everybody is doing good. And you know what? And you know what's so great? Today also is my son's birthday. And I'm going to be taking him out tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be celebrating Carlito's birthday. He turned 24 this year, today. So this year he's 24, so I'm gonna be taking him out because I could not do anything with him today because I worked really late, at my day job, and then got off work late, could not get off work, on time, nothing, because we had some issues and stuff that we had to resolve. So, and I love what I do. So I don't mind staying late. It's not a big deal for me. So I had to work late for that, and then had to hurry up and eat. And I just remember I have to run to the bank because my landscaper is coming tomorrow to cut my grass, and I don't have his buddy. And yeah, so and then I had to test stitch this, and I had one order that I had to work out. So the one order is already done. So I'll be going to the post office tomorrow after I drop off Mello at the groomers, and then I have to run to the bank and get Luis's money. And yeah, it's like I want to frame this. I do, and I think I am going to frame this. I'm going to put this in a cute little frame because this is going to be remembered as the most toughest, challenging embroidery design I ever had, but it worked out. It worked out. It took a long time, but it worked, and I'm happy about that and stuff. So I see Jackie, how you doing? I see Miss Miller, how are you? Hey Becky, how you doing? Deborah, Sandy, how are you? So Creations, how you doing? Hey Iris, hey my sister Nancy, how you doing? Eartha, I see Connie, so creative, how are you? And welcome. Hey Miss Max, how you doing? Hey Miss McFake, how are you? Allison, Peggy, how are you? I see Judy, Michelle, Miss Rita, how you doing? Marsha. Hey, everybody saying hi. Let's see. Is Iris here? Oh, everybody's looking for Iris. There you go. Iris is there. Everybody's asking about the grandbaby. Hey, pretty eyes, how you doing? Hey, girl, for real, how you doing? Bob, okay, show the heat map I send you. Oh, yeah. Okay, the spot was the okay. That's a good idea. All right. I need to show. Okay, I'm going to what Bob wants me to do is show you the heat map that he sent. The spout was bulletproof, and you went through a lot of unnecessary stress. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let's read this together. Show the heat map I sent you. The spout was bulletproof. I went through a lot of unnecessary stress on this file when the file is the problem. Also, what you are modifying to make these changes. I'm gonna tell you, I was going through stress. I tell you, thank you, Bob, because he was so sweet talking to me because I was like, what am I gonna do? I don't want to like fail. I don't want to fail. I didn't want the customer to be like, oh, she couldn't do it, even though she wouldn't have did that because she was actually the lady that does this. Actually, I met her when I started this embroidery journey. Okay. And I remember, and you know what? There's something that I really appreciated about her because I was just starting out, right? As always, right? You really don't know how to price your items. I was just trying to figure it out, like the little space, right? And she asked me to do an embroidery for her, and I did it, and it came out really good. And I was kind of like, oh, it's okay, just pay whatever. And she was like, no, you don't do that. What is your worth? And she actually helped me gain confidence and all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of like, oh my God, like, and she's so sweet. So such a nice lady. I wish I got to spend more time with her and talk with her more and stuff. Cause I mean, I feel like she's somebody that I can learn so much from. But I was kind of like, okay, so, and she always kept bringing me work, like different, projects and stuff like that, and then I would give a price. She never debated, and then she was like, okay, that's good, whatever. And when she gave me this one, I was like, damn, it's a challenge, and I was like, I didn't want to let her down. I did not want to let Beth down, but And it wasn't just not letting her down. I didn't want to let myself down, because I was like, I don't want to quit. I really, sometimes it's like you get a challenge and you get a little scared and you're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna, do well, whatever. But then I just said, I have to do it. Now I will say, as you guys can see, this was my 8th time stitching this. Okay, 8 times. So, you know, it's like, when you look at all of this, okay, of stitching the same thing, I mean, it would drive anybody crazy, right? It's like, what the heck? Like, uh but I am really thankful that Bob, like, you know, talking, and he was like, no, it's not you, because I was like, is it the machine? Is it the fabric? Is it, the tension? Is it the needle? This and whatever. And then he did the heat map on the design, and the file. I mean, you could just see it. And I don't know. Hold on, he did send me. Wait, wait. I have. I'm gonna show the text that I got from Bob, and he showed me the heat map, and you could see the what I was working with, right? Where are you, Bob? There you go. And I was like, oh, there it is. I got it. This was it. This is how that file was designed. And as you can see, it just isn't, it's not working. It just wasn't working. Okay. Look at all that. That's because that's how dense it was. And then let me see. And then even he tried to stitch it out, and it just wasn't working. It just wasn't, so, even Bob tried it. Okay. And that's what I really love about this community. Mellow, stop. This is what I really loved about our community, is that everyone's always trying to help each other out. And I think like that is like so awesome, you know? But it just was not, it's not working, And I'm going to show you, this is what I showed Billy when I sent him. This is a real close up of how, look at that. Look at the way it's stitched. You see that? See, that's a mess. Okay? That is not what it is supposed to be. Okay? And then look at what he did. That's beautiful. See the difference? See that? Look at the mouth. And then look at that. Totally off. And that was one of the pictures that I showed Billy when he was saying, let me help you. And I said, and I gave him the close ups and stuff like that. And see, that's the thing that I think is very important about the relationship between the digitizer and the embroiderer that runs the machines. Okay. They got to work together, because, first of all, the digitizer ain't going to be able to do anything if they don't have that person that stitches it out. And this person that stitches it out isn't going to be doing anything if they don't have the person that can create the file. Okay. Even though running the machines really ain't, to me, it's not that hard. But, you got to have that good balance, and you have to have that good relationship, because if you can talk to each other and really express what is the expectation, what do you need this file to look like, and all that kind of stuff, then it's good. Now, the other thing too is, remember, guys, this is a file that I received from the customer. Okay. So I did not, I'm sure that if I just, from the very beginning, had this whole thing redigitized, I probably could have prevented a lot of this stress. But the thing is, I was using that file. Now, my lesson and my advice, don't do that. Okay. Even if someone offers the file, I would say I'll test it, but if it doesn't come out right, I'm getting it redigitized. Don't ask somebody to modify it or anything like that, because I think that was my fault. I did not have the original file. I was just saying, hey, let me send you a PS file and you go and you modify it. Okay. That doesn't work sometimes, because what happens is, and this is, unfair even to digitizers. Okay. I think it was very unfair for me to ask all the other digitizers to do that, because every digitizer has their own style on how they create a file. And I think what happened was, because they were not recreating the file from scratch, they were using something that somebody else had already did. And that gets a little tricky. It gets a little tricky. So, it wasn't fair, So, thankfully, I bit the bullet. Billy reached out and just said, "Let me just freaking do it for you." And I said, "Okay." And it all worked out. Okay, so yeah, but oh my god. Okay, it was a thing. Have you shown these to the owner of the dog? What does she say? I have talked to the owner of the dog, Judy. And honestly, she was gonna be just fine with the last one, because she saw all the effort that I was doing. A lot of this is really just she was not difficult to work with. Beth is not like that. But the thing is, this is my thing, okay? As you guys have heard me say in the past, when you're doing an embroidery business, you really want to be very careful about the stuff that leaves your shop, because that work that you do is really what's going to represent you, okay? It talks about you, and it speaks volumes, okay? Because people are going to be wearing it, they're going to be using it, people are going to see it. And when they see it, you don't want anything to be funky or anything, because what happens is people will judge you, okay, for it. You don't want your reputation to go downhill. So to me, it's not just as important that the customer is happy with it. You need to make sure that it looks solid. And I was not going to allow this to do that. Oh, why is that? It says, can I start? Sorry, I'm here. Okay, sorry. I thought I lost you guys. I said, why is that title there? And then I hit a button and I lost you guys. I'm back. Hello. Okay, so sorry about that. Technical difficulties, I tell you. Had them last week. Looks like I had them today. Anyway, so you don't want anything to leave. Judy, that's just how I see it. You don't want anything to leave your shop when it looks bad. You really don't. Okay, that's not good. It's not a good look for you and your business. So that's why I'm kind of like, you don't want to do that. Okay, so let me see. Did you have one? Yes, Marcia. Okay, Marcia did ask, did I have it done smaller? Yes, I did. Because originally the design was 4 inches in height, and no, 4 inches wide, 3 inches in height. A logo should be 3 by 3 inches. Okay, you can go 3.5 inches in the width, but it's not recommended. You should really it should be 3 inches, because before you know it, you kind of like doing the whole chest, right? So you want it to stay logo length, right? So I said, let me just make it smaller at what it's supposed to be, and work it from there. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna see, where did I go? Because I know the last one was Judy. Tina said, I'm glad I asked you about that last week. I'm glad you did too, Tina, because honestly, you pushed me. Because I was procrastinating. I was looking at it and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I just don't, because it just wasn't working out. It just wasn't working out. But girl, I'm there. I'm loving it, and I'm back in business. I'm back. I feel my energy back. I really do. I feel like I'm new. I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready. So thank you so much, Tina. I am so glad you asked about that too. You're right, because you're the one that asked about it and stuff. Um, so glad you are happy now. Don't be stressed out. Nope, I'm good. I am good. And let's see, I won't be, yep, won't be too stiff putting a patch on that embroidery. Marsha, I don't know if it would be. I might just, I think I'm just going to replace the sweatshirt. Honestly, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to replace it. At the end of the day, you get a lot of satisfaction of a job well done. And Iris, that is so true. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You feel good. You really, really do. Watch Wednesday, Hurricane Farina. Oh no. Oh, Eartha. Hope you guys are okay. And let me see. Okay, for this is for the chat. Okay, if you download embroidery files, download the free Embrilliance so that you can check the heat map and test for problems before stitching. Will save you time. And you know what, Bob, I'm gonna start. You should do a video on that. You should do a video on that. Or maybe I'll try to do it. I'll try to do it and stuff. Is this digitizer in the United States? I believe he is. I believe he is. And Billy, I don't know if you're out there, but it would be awesome if you could join the chat, because I would really love to have you in there. I think he is, Ozzy, but I will definitely be putting his information in there. His name is Billy Henrick. Okay, Henrick. Henrick. And he has his icon. He has like a baseball hat, a little mustache and stuff. But yeah. What is a heat map? A heat map, Deborah, is it's let me show you. This is what it looks like. It's the picture that I got from Bob. This is what a heat map looks like. Okay? And stuff. And I'll try to do a video on the heat maps and stuff. As you can see, very dense in the mouth. It was a killer. It was a killer. Sorry about that. I need a water. Okay, so first time I heard. Okay, so it looks like hit the thumbs up. Yes, guys, if you like this video, please give me the thumbs up. I'm telling you, man, I am so happy. Success, success, success. Never, 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 never quit. That's what I say. Never. Okay? Failure is how you learn, is how you grow, is how you succeed. So, are you going to have your good times and your bad times? Absolutely. But you never give up. Just keep going. Keep smiling. Tomorrow's another day. The sun's always going to come up. You got this. Okay? So don't ever, ever, ever give up. Oh, I agree. Embroidery is not for the weak. It's not. It's not. And this is the thing too. It's like, and it's not just plus sense. It's not just embroidery. It's everything in life. Okay? If you want something really, really bad, you got to be willing to make that sacrifice. You got to be willing to accept that at times you're going to fail. At times you're going to make mistakes and all that kind of stuff. So, and that is one of the things too that I really want this channel to be about, I like, sometimes, I would like to make my videos a little more prettier and stuff like that. I would. But to me, it's all about the rawness, I like showing you guys when I make a mistake. I don't mind telling you guys when I'm failing. I don't mind telling you guys when I feel like this isn't going to work or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I also love to share when, things are going well, right? But the thing is, I think it's so important to also share the tough times too, because that is that's really, to me, being really truthful and honest. Okay. You hear a lot of times people, they come on, they say, hey, you could just do this, you can rule the world, you can do this, you can do that. And I'm not saying you can't, but what I am saying is that a lot of times when you watch other people, you see them and they're showing you all the successes, right? Everything's perfect, everything's la da, the world's great, the sun's always shining, but they never show you when it rains, they never show you when they made the hiccups, when they made the mistakes and all that kind of stuff. And those things are just as equally as important to me. That's how I feel, because when you are new in this industry, if you are, and even if you're doing it as a hobby, you want you it's important that to know that you're not, because sometimes people get discouraged, right? And to me, it's like, you had a hard day. Okay, so what? The design didn't come out that well. Great. So what? But the thing is, one thing for sure would have happened. If I quit, I would have never learned. I wouldn't have learned, I wouldn't have been able to learn more about the heat map. I wouldn't have been able to learn more about getting to know other digitizers and stuff. The doors of opportunities do open up. Okay, so to me, I look at it like, now I got another digitizer that I feel comfortable working with. Now I feel like I learned that, things sometimes just takes a little longer. I mean, did this take a lot longer than what I anticipated? Hell yeah. I wasn't expecting to be stitching it out all these times, right? But it is what it is, right? So, it's like, it's okay. I mean, it worked. Okay. So tomorrow, when I get up in the morning, I'm actually going to be stitching them out on the shirts. That I will definitely be. I'll have the camera on. I already got it. Batteries are charged. Okay. So I am going to film me embroidering her shirts with this. Okay. Because this was actually embroidered on cotton. And then it's going to be embroidered on a sweatshirt. But I have very good confidence that this is going to embroider just fine. I think it's going to embroider perfect. I don't see any problems. So I'm definitely going to replace the sweatshirt for her. Um, and I don't know. I'm gonna try to put a patch on it, but I think like that someone had posted on there. Um, it could be maybe a little bit too dense if I put a patch over it. Um, I'm just too tired to just remove all those stitches. Even though I have the Peggy Stitch Eraser, I could try, but I don't know. Well, I don't know. Should I try? Should I even try to remove it? All those stitches. I guess I could. I could sit in front of the TV and just do a thing and just try to remove them all and see. This is a lot of stitches to remove. I tell you that, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how I feel. I mean, it'd probably be a lot faster for me just to go and purchase a brand new sweatshirt and then embroider it for her. It's no big deal. I mean, am I gonna make money off of this? Probably not. But off this order, probably, if you think about it, with all the hours that I did and all that kind of stuff and everything, probably not. But that's okay. I mean, I don't. For me, this order was not really about the profit and the money. This order for me was about the challenge. Okay. So, and this is the thing. Sometimes you just gotta, sometimes you things come, things happen. They will come in time. So That's why to me, I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Because think about it. She's gonna have this design. She's gonna be wearing it. I know she's gonna get compliments on it. I know people are gonna ask her who did that, who can do that type of work. And I'm probably gonna end up getting more customers. That's how I'm figuring it. That's what's going through my mind. Do you know what I mean? And if anything, I know I have her as a customer for sure because I mean, when she sees this, she's going to be floored and she's going to be like, "Wow, you did it. You did it." And I'm be like, "Oh yeah." And if she has more artwork that I see is that just detailed, if she comes to me with more stuff that is just as detailed as what she came with this design, I'm gonna be calling Billy. I'm gonna be like, Billy, got it, got it, got it, got it. That is for sure. Um, Labor of love and dedication to your art. Yep, for sure. Persistence pays. It sure does. Hey, oh, hey, Susan. Hey, Lucy. I'm sorry, I forgot. I show your thing. I forgot to say hi. Hello, beautiful queen. Hello, Miss Joy. You're a beautiful queen too. Been watching you, and this is my first live. Welcome, 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 welcome. And you got to see my little success. I did it. I'm all happy, 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 happy. Hey, Jeanette, love how the dog design came out. Quick question. I made thin blankets, but would my single needle handle the quilt blankets? Yes, they do drape heavy on the embroidery arm. They can't, a single needle can be embroidered on those quilt the baby quilt blankets. Yes, that was not a problem. They are heavy. So one of the things that I do recommend, if you have a single needle machine, what you may want to do is if you have like a dining room table or something like that, right? Because sometimes, because it's a large quilt and it's heavy, the thing is you don't want the quilt to hang so that the weight kind of shifts your fabric as it's embroidering, right? So one of the things that I would recommend that you're doing, if you have at home like a dining room table or something like that, take clear off the dining room table, take the machine, put it on the edge of the dining room table, lay out the quilt, float the quilt, okay, and then let it embroider on the dining room table. That way you don't have the quilt hanging, okay? You have it laying on your dining room table with your machine, and you should be fine with that, okay? Make sure that you use sticky stabilizer, okay? Something like sticky stabilizer. If you're not using sticky stabilizer, on those quilt blankets, you can use tearaway because remember, it's a quilt, okay? And it's very, very strong. So the embroidery will be fine with tearaway stabilizer on those quilts. So if you're using tearaway stabilizer, if you don't have sticky stabilizer, don't worry about it. Get temporary spray adhesive, spray on the tearaway stabilizer, then lay the quilt on your hoop. Okay. Lay it on your hoop. Okay. Smooth it out and stuff like that. If you want, you can pin it. Maybe a little tough to pin because those blankets are a little thick, but just lay it. Make sure you do spray plenty. Not like, don't like drench the tearaway stabilizer, but I would spray a little more than usual on the hoop so that you can lay that, because you want to make sure that it stays flat and it doesn't shift or anything like that. So I hope those tips help. Okay. um Hey, Iris. Yes. Carlito's birthday came. Yes, 23. 23. All right, quick question. Because your time was months, did you price her out? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm asking since the logo would have made a big difference in the pricing. If this had stitched out perfectly. Okay. It probably would have been for this, okay, the way it's stitched, I'm probably this will probably be um $40 or $45 a shirt. That's what I would probably charge for this. Okay. Now, because I stitched all of this, am I going to be no? Because these are all failures. These are all failures. Okay. This is me making it happen. Okay. So I'm not going to be charging her all this. This is not it. Okay. What I will be charging is for the actual stitch out, which this most likely is probably going to be 40 bucks. 40 bucks a shirt. This is probably what I'm going to be charging. Okay. For my time, because it's only half an hour. It's only about a half hour to stitch out and stuff like that. It does take 4 different colors. It's not any type of 60 weight thread, it's just 40. So it'll probably be 40 a shirt for it. Okay. And stuff. And then she did reach out to me and she was like, whatever you charge for your, you had to pay for digitizing, let me know. So I'll add the digitizing cost to this as well. So that way, so it'll probably be, I think she gave me 3 shirts. So it'll probably be 40, 120, like $130 for this job and stuff. Now, you guys probably are thinking, damn, $130, but you did all that work. No, think about it. The work was really just to get to here. Okay. And think about this also. If I didn't play it smart. Okay. And please, the reason why I'm saying this so that you guys could learn from my mistakes. Okay. If I had to redo this whole journey over again, I did waste a lot of time because this is what I should have did. Okay. When she gave me the design that she got, okay, because what happened was she said that she went to a digitizer and she paid this person money and they didn't do the work correctly, right? And then I don't remember correctly. I think she may have gotten it digitized again. I'm not sure. But all I know is I got the file from her. Okay. So then I went and I stitched it out and then I saw there was problems with the file. What I should have did, okay, was say, can't use your file. That's it. Not even bothered with it. Okay. But I did. All right. And instead of asking people to modify an existing bad file, I should have just said, I need someone, give me the artwork, and let me go to several digitizers and see who can do this. That would have saved me a lot of time. It would have saved me a lot of effort. And I probably would have ended up with an end product like what Billy gave me from the beginning. But I didn't do that. Okay. So to me, Mr. McFake, this is not the customer's fault. This is my fault because I took the wrong route. I should not have been modifying a design that she got. She already had a bad file. I was trying to turn a bad file into a good file. Doesn't work like that sometimes. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you got to say that file's no good. Bob proved that to me when he took the file and he put it through the heat map. He was like, this could have been done doing, with AI digitizing, maybe. And that's why it's so, clunky and stuff like that. And he's right. When he told me, he was like, look at the head. And then when he showed me that, and then I started to look at this, and then I even started to feel this right here, I was like, he's right. No wonder when the needle was going to the head of the dog, it was going in and out, and it was like it was going through some real thick patch, right? So I was like, the whole body was fine except the head. And then the more I tried digitizers to fix it, it just wasn't happening. So what I really should have been doing was what Billy did. That's really what and thankfully that he was just like, she's hard-headed. because that's probably what Billy was thinking. Like, this girl's hard headed. Okay, give me the artwork. Let me because I was like, no, 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 and he just said, give it to me. And thank goodness that he was so persistent. And I gave him the artwork, and then this is what I got. And I was like, okay. I was like, it's better. But then I was like, that, but the mouth, because it looked too short. And then when I pointed that out and he gave me the second one, which I stitched today, I'm like, could you imagine the amount? First of all, she would have had these shirts a long time ago. Okay, so the customer waited a very long time for this. Okay, so she would have got this a very long time ago. So to me, this was really a good learning lesson for me. Okay, so what is Jeanette going to do in the future, and what would Jeanette advise anybody else out there to do? This is what you do, and I'm going to be doing this from now on. If a customer comes to me and says, I have my own stitch file, I'll be like, I will be glad to test stitch it. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, this is how much it's going to cost to digitize it. Period. That's it. I'm not wasting my time. I'm not going to waste any more digitizers, because let me tell you, all these digitizers that I work with that was trying to fix this for me, this is not a reflection of them. Okay, they were working with a file that they did not create. They were just trying to fix it for me. Okay, so it is hard. It's hard. It's not an easy thing. So I don't blame the digitizers in the past. Okay, but thankfully this one was able to just ignore me and say, just give me the freaking artwork and let me do my magic, and finally got it. Okay, this, especially the mouth area, it does not feel anything close to the stiffness that I feel in those other test stitches. He did absolutely awesome work. Awesome. I mean, he knocked it off the park. It's like, wow. I'm very, very, very happy with it. And I know my customer is going to be really, really happy. So, I am not going to be doing the months in the pricing. I think that would be unfair to the customer, because that, remember, the customer is not the embroiderer expert. You are. Okay. So the mistakes that you make on your end should not be in their pockets. Okay. You don't charge, or I don't charge customers for my mistakes. That was not their doing. That was my doing. Okay. So that's how I kind of feel about it. So anyway, let me see. Let's go back down. Let's see. Hey, Michelle. She's from the UK. Oh, it's 1:45 a.m. And you're keeping me company while I embroider and sew it back for a customer. I work better in the early hours. Oh my goodness. So you are up there. And you know what? I cannot work during that time, because then I it's like I just go to I would fall asleep on the machines. Can't do it. Hey, Miss Masters, how are you? That looked really weird in that heat map. It did. It did. Oh my God. Looks so distorted. It did. That's what I'm saying. It's like, hey, Bob, it sounds like the problem in this case was your client was swindled by someone who IA generated art and then auto digitized the IA art. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it was someone who said they did embroidery and they really didn't, and gave them a bad file. I believe so. Yep, I totally agree, Bob. Miss Jeanette, Mr. Mello. Hey, hope you're doing good. Love this topic, Jeanette, as some designs can be very deceiving and difficulty until we get them stitched out. They can be. Yes. I feel like Billy could have done a better job with a picture of the actual dog because his work was incredible. And it's I thought about that too, but I did not have the actual picture of the dog. But I'm gonna tell you that he knocked it off. I mean, Billy did really good. He did get the actual artwork, but like I said, he just shortened the mouth a little bit too much. And I was like, when I told him, he just second try knocked it out. Knocked it out. Um, let's see. What happened? I guess that's when I accidentally left and stuff. Oh, great. I'll upload a quick video on the Facebook group later trying to explain it. Thank you. I appreciate that, Bob. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, see everybody. Let's see. Iris said, keep it real. We prefer it that way. Yeah, I like to be just raw. I don't know. That's how I am. And then sometimes people are like, oh, some people complain. I just tell them, there's a lot of channels out there. They go watch somebody else. That's like I'm not gonna change who I am. I like who I am. I like the way I do things. I just like to be honest. That's how it is because I'm just like everybody else, and I don't. I just want to keep it like that. But thank you, Iris. I'm glad that you like that. And Jenny says, we learn as we go, keep it raw and real. That's what we need nowadays. I sure will. I'm not going to change. Let me see. Miss Miller says, try that bandage tape I sent you. Oh, on your single needle hoop. It keeps things from slipping. Oh, okay. But I have not gotten the package yet, Rita. So I'll reach out to you later, okay? And so, see, it hit us. Thank goodness. Oh, okay. Oh, everybody's talking about. I guess there's a hurricane or something that's going on around. Okay. Thanks for the quilt blanket tips. Want to do one for a friend? It's gonna come out beautiful. It's gonna come out gorgeous. It is. Oh, everybody talk about the hurricane. I guess there's a hurricane somewhere. I guess. Okay. Well, anyway, guys, let me see. It is 9:30. I guess today's gonna be a short live and stuff because all I wanted to talk to you guys about was the dog, and I am happy. Oh my god. I am definitely going to frame this, and every time I look at it, I'm going to be thinking about never giving up because just because things are rough doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way. I'm just so happy, so thrilled. I'm ecstatic. I'm like, yes, it worked. It worked out really, really good. I'm very, very happy. So just so you guys know, tomorrow, after I take Mello to the groomers, I will be able to have this room by myself for a little while. I'll have to videotape real quick though, because this groomer is kind of quick. It's not like the last one. He used to go somewhere that was all the way out by Manassas. I got a new groomer. It's by Haymarket here. Kind of like it because it's closer. And I like it also because the dogs go in a playpen and Mello loves the playpen. And what's so funny is the last time I went to go pick him up, me and Fred went together, and there was another golden doodle that was there, ran up to me and Fred, okay, was happy to see us, looked exactly like Mello, and we were ready to put the leash on that dog and take it home. And thank goodness that the owner said, no, that's not Mello. And we were like, what? And then when Mello came out, it was like they looked like twins. We could not tell them apart. Usually I could tell Mello because he has like a little white spot in his chest of the fur. This other dog had the same thing. And I was like, Oh my God. And then it was funny because Fresh goes, "Ooh, that's dangerous because we could have came home with the wrong baby." I said, "We sure could." But the dog just came to us like he knew us. So it was kind of funny. It was hilarious. But anyway, but yeah. So tomorrow morning, yeah, got a lot of running around to do. And then after that, I am going to videotape and we're going to see how this stitches out on one of the actual shirts. And once that is done, oh my God, I could just see it now. I'm going to be going out of town with this design. I could see this on the tote bags and stuff. And this is something that I was thinking of doing. I was going to do this as a gift for the customer. Okay. This is another one of her designs. These are her drawings. And I put it on dinner napkins for her, right? Now, what I'm thinking of doing is because we have perfected this, I'm thinking about taking 2 dinner napkins, make 2 of this design in black. Then I want to take 2 white dinner napkins, and I'm thinking about embroidering this on a dinner napkin for her table. And I think she would love that. And I want to give that to her as a gift, as a thank you for the challenge. Because if it wasn't for her, I would not have met Billy. I would not have really like learned something new and stuff. So it's like you gotta really, I don't know, I feel like you gotta really appreciate those moments, right? Because the most difficult moments could sometimes be your most precious ones. And she is one of the first people that I embroidered for. And to know that I can, that she gave me a challenge like this, very, very thankful, because those are the types of jobs that only make you better. They really help you become more of an expert and be really successful and help build your confidence and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm not saying the easy jobs are bad, because hey, we all like the easy jobs. Those are the easy money. But when you have complicated projects, I honestly tell people, don't be scared of them. Honestly, don't be scared of the complicated projects, because those are the ones that are really going to help you build those skills and really become successful. People don't become successful overnight. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of practice, okay? Takes a lot of times when you got to, work on these machines and stuff like that. Sometimes, it can drive you crazy, but the what's important is you don't give up and you make sure that you learn from it. So I probably will, even in the video, when I embroider one of the dinner napkins, so you guys can see how it looks. I know she's gonna love it, and I want to give it to her as a gift. So thank you. So I'm gonna give her 4 dinner napkins. 2 with this design, and then 2 in white with this design as a thank you. So and I know she's gonna love that. I mean, it's gonna be really, really cool. And now, it's funny too. The design that has given me like the most like "Bleh," this is actually going to be now one of my favorites to stitch out. It really is. It's going to be a joy. I love it. So it's like I'm already like looking at my thread and I'm like, okay, I got to buy more thread. I'm going to have to buy more thread. What do you got thread? So because I need to make sure that I can stitch this out multiple times, because I want to stitch it out multiple times. Now I'm excited. I'm really, really, really super excited. So, guys, I am going to call it the night and stuff so that I can get up early, take Miller to the groomers, and keep on working. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's topic. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys next Friday for embroidery happy hour. Because let me see, next Friday though, hold on, because at the end of the month, we have the sewing and quilt show, and I'm going to be there. So I want to make sure, hold on, I'm going to look at this calendar right here to make sure Nope. Yep. I will be here next Friday because it'll be on the 27th that I will not be able to do the embroidery happy hour because I will be at the sewing and quilt show hanging out with Miss Shirley and the rest of the gang. Okay. So I will see you guys next Friday and I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a awesome weekend and enjoy your sewing, enjoy your embroidery. And remember, no matter how hard things get, don't quit. Okay. It's all going to work out at the end. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.